Hello and welcome back to Classic Mini Restoration with me, Mini Tom. So as you've seen by the title, I've nearly cut my finger off. Yeah. I'm making this video because obviously I always show my mistakes. It was kind of an oversight on my point, and there's probably things that I could have done differently to avoid the accident. I'll touch on all that when I get back to my garage, and I can show you what I've done, why I've done it, and what I could have done to prevent this from happening. So a bit of background: I was working in the garage yesterday. I was making something which involved cutting some metal with an angle grinder. As I was cutting it, I had my hand in front of the piece that I was cutting. It was basically it was a bit of round bar that I'd shaped into a U to make a handle for something. So I'm cutting the back part here with the grinder facing that way, and my left hand was holding it here. That was the first mistake, was putting my hand in front of the blade. I wasn't in front, but it was like sort of near it. So I've got a bench vise. Why didn't I put that piece of metal in the bench vise? It was an oversight. It's as simple as that. You know, you get complacent with things. You use these tools all the time. You don't expect them to just go. So I didn't actually cut myself with the grind. I didn't sort of go like that and go through my finger. The actual blade shattered. Now I have had it happen a couple of times where discs have literally just shattered, and it terrifies you. It really, if it happened to you, it terrifies you. It really, really does, because you think, Christ, that could be in my face, my neck, anything. Which is why I always wear my big sort of face visor, or you know, my goggles if I've got my grinder away from me. And I always wear orange gloves, the thin orange gloves, not thin, but you know, the work gloves. And over them, I always put my leather gauntlets. Now, to make the handle, I had to basically heat the metal up, bend it with my gauntlets on, and then I had to mark them with a pen and a tape measure to where I wanted to cut them. So I took the big leather gauntlets off because they are cumbersome, marked it where I wanted to cut, and then I thought, I'll just zip this bit of metal off. What's the worst that can happen? Now we've found out. So I had my orange gloves on, it went straight through them, and the blade shattered, and it's cut 3 places. I'll show you some pictures a bit later on in the video, so if you are squeamish, either skip it or don't watch anymore. But yeah, there's some pictures it shows I've cut the top of my, alright, so I'll show you on this hand. I've cut along there, top of my fingernail, I've cut down the side of there, like there, and I've cut on the back of here. They are quite deep cuts. Now it wasn't like a cut, it wasn't something I've cut into myself with. Basically, when the blade shattered, it's flung off with obviously centrifugal force, and it's whacked my finger, and it was that painful. I thought somebody had got a sledgehammer or a lump hammer and just gone like that on my finger. That was the force it had. It really hurt. It knocked my finger like that way, and the first thing I thought is, you know, the grinder just it's caught on the metal and it's just pushed forward, and I've cut my finger off. But it hadn't. It actually shattered, and that was the force that I'd felt, was it actually whacking that. So like I said, that's cut quite deep. Now, I went to A&E last night. They x-rayed it, and I had to wait for results back, and I also had to wait for them to speak to a specialist about plastic surgery and stuff, which made me get a parking ticket. So thanks very much, Airedale Hospital, for that. You give me a parking ticket. Cheers, guys. But yeah, they said that they can't do anything there. I'm going to have to come to a plastic surgeon in the morning and get it basically looked at, whether they want to dig the metal out or whether they want to just leave it and yes, alright. So I'm down here now. I've just been and seen the consultant surgeon, and he's had a look at it, and he said it's quite a nasty wound. He's looked at the x-rays. I've got some bits of cutting disc lodged fairly deep into the cuts and into my finger, and I've got some bits surrounding it as well, a bit like splinters, which I can actually feel. It's quite raised. They're giving me some discomfort at the minute because I keep catching on the bandage. So they're quite deep. What he's going to do is going to numb my finger, and then without me looking, he's going to dig around and fish these bits of crap out my finger. So it's fine to leave in. If it were like on my back or my thigh or anything like that, it'd be fine to leave in, but with it in my finger, I'll feel like raised bits of my finger, and it'll give some discomfort, especially if I'm working with them. I'll feel it pressing against something. So it's going to dig them all out, and then either they'll stitch it or they'll just dress it or something. So like I say, I'll show you the pictures and the X-ray, and yeah, if you're squeamish or you don't like blood or anything like that, either end the video now or just skip forward past the videos, past the pictures. So if you didn't like that, I'm sorry, but I'm making this video to prove a point, in that when you're using power tools and things like that, look, guys and girls, listen, you're in your garage on your own, just like I am. This could have quite easily been this, or this, or this face. Do you know what I mean? It could have quite easily been something much worse than the tip of my finger. I mean, it doesn't look too bad on the pictures. That's about 13-14 hours after it happened, so it has started to sort of close up and heal. When I first did it, I nearly fainted, because it was horrible to look at, it was horrible to feel. Please, I urge anyone watching this video, make sure that you've got the guard on your grinder. Make sure you're doing it. I know I've done it. It's easier to use a grinder without it on. It really is. These things can just explode, and you know, like I say, that could have been that, or it could have been your eyes. You know, you only get one set of these things. So please, first of all, make sure your guard's on your grinder. I am not using that grinder now until I find that guard. Now, obviously, I was lucky that the disc went away from me, so a guard wouldn't have helped anything in this situation. But if the blade wanted to go upwards, it would have gone straight up here. And that's why I say, please guys, make sure you've got your guard on your grinder. They've got everyone. Yes, it makes it more difficult to use. Yes, you can't get in as well. You know, the access isn't as great. But what would you rather do? Struggle, or would you rather lose an eye or cut your neck open or something? It really does hit with some force, guys. It really does. Secondly, like I mentioned, I have my orange gloves on. I normally put some big thick gloves over it. I just thought, I'm only using it for a second. What's worse that can happen? I'll just do it. Do you know what? I wish to God I'd have had them gloves on. It might have still cut me, but it would have at least saved it a little bit. It wouldn't have gone as deep, it wouldn't have got the fragments in there. Please guys, when using these sort of tools, there's a lot of forces involved here. It will go through your skin. You can see that. Please wear some nice thick gloves. Yes, they're cumbersome to work with, and you know, I see guys that don't use any gloves at all, and I use them orange ones, and yeah, when I first started wearing them, I hated them, but you get used to them. You don't even feel they're there once you've started wearing them for a couple of hours. Please wear gloves. Obviously your eye protection, and even better, like I wear, is a full face shield. Them blades will shatter through things. Obviously hearing protection as well, so you've got everything covered basically. Wear something nice and thick, like a thick jumper or fleece or something. Wear something, quite a lot of padding here, because like I mentioned to you, if it does decide to bugger it off, it's going to get your chest as well. Oh, also, the height that most of us use our grinders is quite a sensitive area for a man to get hit in, and a woman as well actually. But yeah, nobody wants to see that thing cut off, do they? So please just make sure that you just look at where the blade is, look at where it's rotating, look at where it's going to bugger off, and just make sure you're wearing some gear. I don't know what else to say, guys. You're in your own garage, you do your own risk assessments. You know, how you want to work is up to you. I'm not going to start telling you to do things and do your things a certain way. But if my video is showing you my accident, you know, helps anyone and thinks, do you know what, maybe Mini Tom's got a point there. Maybe I should actually start wearing some stuff, because, like I say, that it looks salvageable. I might have some damage to my nail because it's cut into that a little bit. I'm going to have a scar there, but, you know, it's a scar on my finger. But that could have quite easily have taken my finger off. And that's when you start getting serious with these sort of things. So please, I urge you. I'll do the puppy dog, guys. Please, I urge you, wear PPE. But no, seriously, wear it, guys. It's not a joke. wear it.
Right, apologies for the lighting, it's dark now. I had the stuff dug out of my finger, really painful, big needle. Yeah, it's still afterwards as well, a hell of a lot. Not pleasant at all. I'll show you a picture of that now. And yeah, I've basically, it'll scar. I damaged the nail bed, so I might get a bit of a ridge in my nail when it grows through. Yeah, it's a permanent thing. It's not, no, I've still got a finger, still got the end of it, which is the main thing. But yeah, I've still damaged myself unnecessarily. So I was cutting a piece of this, which is a bit of 8mm round bar, and I was basically holding this side of the handle here, and I was grinding like that there. The blade just shattered. Obviously it went straight for my finger there, which is what obviously did all that. And you can see there from the actual cutting disc, it's just ripped to shreds. I mean, it were a new disc as well. Whether it got snagged on the bar or something and it twisted, I don't know. But there's no excuse. If I'd have had some gloves on or had it in the vise, it might have been a bit of a different story. I mean, yeah, loads of them fibrous bits, I don't know what it is, but loads of that sort of stuff in my fingers. The type of shards that come off, that's one that came off it. Now, if you can imagine what the little bits did to my finger, imagine that in your eye. So, please, wear PPE.
So, by now you've seen the setup that I had, you've seen how it's happened, and you've seen obviously the blade, what it looks like now, and how much of a chunk has come out of it. So you get an insight into what I've done and how I've done it, and you know what you can do to avoid it. And that sort of brings the video to a close. If anyone's got any comments I'd like to add about the PPE that I use, or you know where I've got it from, or anything like that, or you've had an experience similar yourselves, drop a comment below, and if you give me permission, I'll shout in the next video. Really, if this video does anything for anyone on my next videos, it's please wear your PPE, stay safe in your garage. You might be the only ones working in there, and something extremely bad could happen where you can't move and you just laid there until somebody thinks, oh, he's been a while in garage, I might just go and check on him, because you can be out there for a couple of hours, as you know. Dave Jaguar 66, thank you. I think you've jinxed me, because in your last video you talked about angle grinder safety, and here we are. Look at this. You just couldn't make it up, could you? Even though I do think I'm pretty safe with my grinder, it's highlighted some issues to me which I think I need to improve on. Dave, I know you mentioned about obviously the guards and stuff. I would ask you, please put a guard on them. I don't want to see anyone else get hurt by a grinder. Please, Dave. Now, I know Dave's got his motto, and it's a brilliant motto: stay safe, keep the faith, and enjoy your hobby. Brilliant motto, because the number one thing that he says is stay safe, and that is the priority. That is the main thing, is what you do. Don't matter about the car, don't matter about anything else what you're doing, as long as you're safe doing it. So, you know, it's a great motto, Dave. My motto to everyone else, and what I'll say in every other video that I do from now on, is going to be: don't be a tit, wear your kit. Alright? Get your PPE on, because it ain't worth it, guys. It isn't worth it. I'm missing work. I can't go out in the garage this weekend now because of this. You know, I couldn't see my kids last night because I had to go to A&E. It isn't worth it. Wear your kit. Stop being a tit. Cheers. Bye bye for now.